Hey guys, so I'm finally back. I took the summer off because I was traveling a little bit and I just needed a break to get those creative juices flowing. So excited to be back. I'm coming off of a cold, so that's why I sound a little sick. But today I'm going to be sharing with you a book haul. So I recently bought some books to kind of celebrate coming back home, and so I'm really excited to share these with you. I have a couple of historicals, and I have 2 stacks of some indie romances, so let's get right into it. The first book I want to share with you is The Marquess Makes His Move by Diana Quincy. Yes, that's correct. This one is excuse me, about this woman. She is in a marriage that she is not happy in, and she falls in love with a footman, and it's really good. Well, I've heard it's really good, and I'm really excited to read this. I love how floppy it is, and I'm very excited to read this. I really like Diana Quincy's first book, so I can't wait to get into this. The next book I got recently was The Return of the Duke by Lorraine Heath. This is her newest release, and it's about this guy who I think he is his brother, maybe, or father. Oh, never mind. He is like stripped of his like dukedom, maybe. Yes, his father is hanged for an assassination attempt against Queen Victoria, and so now he's kind of painted as this guy who is not the best guy, and so he is trying to find this woman who is our heroine, because she has secrets of her own, and she's like a harlot, supposedly, the heartless harlot, and they go on like a hunt to find out what the truth is, like if his father really did make an attempt on the queen. So I'm really excited to read this. I really love Lorraine Heath, and I think she is a really amazing author, and she always throws these great twists in her book, so I'm really excited to read this. The next book that I have is The Bride Goes Rogue by Joanna Shoop. This one I am really excited to read. I've been loving Joanna Shoop lately, so this one is her newest release, and it's set in New York, I think, and our hero and heroine are engaged, but it's like a forced engagement, the hero's father set it all up, and they do not want to be engaged to each other. Preston is known as this bachelor, I think, and he's known as like being a ladies' man, and she is just this sweet woman who doesn't really want anything to do with him, I think. So it says, Catherine from living life to the fullest as she ditches all silly notions of love and marriage and sets out to sample all the excitement New York City has to offer. So I think she wanted to marry him, and then he didn't want to marry her, but then he's like realizing, oh, I actually have feelings for this woman. So I'm really excited to read this. Hopefully I'll be doing maybe a historical romance reading vlog soon with these books, because they're newer and I want to do a reading vlog of some historical romances. So now we're going to get into some of my indie books I have. So the first one I have is called The Inadequate Heir by Danielle Jensen. This is the 3rd book in this series, and it follows a different couple. It follows, I think, the woman from the first book, so maybe her brother, I think, and then this woman named Zara, who I think was a soldier for like the good team, and then they have to like maybe travel together or something. and like questioning all their values. I don't really know that much about this book, but I really have liked the other 2 books in this series, so I'm excited to read this. And it's very chunky, so maybe I'll read it for like a fantasy vlog or something like that. So the next book is called Puck Me Secretly by Odette Stone. This is a hockey bromance, and I've heard really great things about this, specifically from Jess from Piece of Books. I kind of bought most of the series based on her love of this series. So this one is, I think they have a one-night stand, and she doesn't know that he's a hockey player, and she is going to her new job, and she sees that he's a hockey player on her team, and so they have to keep this secret of them being together or having a night together. But then I think they both want to be together. So I think something goes on, some chemistry, too much to handle for them, and so they just like go for it, maybe. Not totally sure. And then this next book that I have is The Silent Waters by Brittany C. Cherry. I really need to read Brittany C. Cherry. I have a couple different books from her, but this one I've heard is really good. It's coming back in popularity, I think. And I think all of her books, like her synopses, are very vague. It says, I was 10 years old when I lost my voice. A piece of me was stolen away, and the only person who could truly hear my silence was Brooks Griffin. He was the light during my dark days, a promise of tomorrow, until tragedy found him. Tragedy that eventually drowned him in a sea of memories. This is the story of a boy and a girl who loved each other but didn't love themselves. A story of life and death, of love and broken promises, of moments. So usually these are like small town, very emotional, very angsty, so I'm excited to read that. Okay, so now we have another Odette Stone. This is the High Risk Rookie. Ooh, look at that. I really like that. I think this is the 4th book in the series, maybe. And I think it's like a bad boy romance. Maybe he's her client. Like an office romance, kind of. They have one reckless night, one terrible mistake, and suddenly my entire world and everything I have worked for is on thin ice, thanks to my rookie. I shouldn't work with him professionally because I can't seem to keep my hands off him. The more tangled our lives get, the more complicated our relationship becomes. That sounds really interesting. I'm excited to read that. And then I grabbed Falling Embers by Catherine Cowles. This is a small town romance. It's so pretty. I love this cover. I wanted this cover. I usually don't love the like alternate covers because I do like a good man on the cover. But this one was just so pretty. And I don't really know what this is about. It says, I've loved colder crews from the moment he taught me how to fly. Racing down a mountain and give me the release I so desperately needed, my understanding, my safe space. Hadley has fought for a life of her own ever since her sister's kidnapping. When she was drowning in expectations and family pressures, Calder was always the one who understood her. Until one night changed it all, from best friends to strangers in a single breath. So I think this is a best friend romance with some angst and some emotional stuff. Definitely a small town, so I'm really excited for this one. I really want to read Catherine Cowles. I've heard such great things about her books, especially her newest book, Shattered Sea. I'm so excited for that one. So I can't wait for that to release. I think it's coming out in September. And then the next book I have is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Jessa Hastings. So I've heard so many great things about this book. It's definitely blowing up right now. I heard this is a toxic romance, very angsty. So that's all I really know, and that's all I want to know. Very vague. When I first saw the cover for this on Instagram, I was so confused. I was like, what is going on? But this is a indie romance, and I'm really excited to read this. Hopefully I can get to it soon. It's very long, but I've just heard incredible things about it, so I can't wait to read it. This next book is called A Lady for a Duke by Lexus Hall. For a while I didn't know what this book was about. I just didn't look at the synopsis. And then my friend picked it up and he loved it. He loves like historical romances, which I love that about him. And this is I think our heroine is trans, and it's a historical romance, of course, as you can see by the cover. And I think she was best friends with this duke, but then like a war happens and he has some like stuff happen to him that really messed him up. And he's like a totally different person, and they reconnect and they have a romance, I think. So I'm really excited for this. My friend River said he loved it, so I can't wait to read this. And I love the cover. It's very like eye-catching with the yellow and the blue. I'm really excited for this. And I haven't read Alexis Hall yet, so excited to read this. Maybe I'll read it in my historical romance vlog coming to you soon. But I really want to read Alexis Hall. She just sounds amazing. And then I have Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I've heard this is a dark romance. I can't remember. Ever since I ran from that house so desperate to escape, I left with only the clothes on my back and socks on my feet. After that day, I've only ever walked in stolen shoes. Could I be a girl who is searching for the meaning of life and faceless men? And also blah blah blah. Till he came along. Enzo Vitale, a enigmatic man that will only ever love the deep sea, or rather the predators that inhabit it. So different than the monsters he feeds. So I think she has had a really traumatic past, and she ends up staying with this guy, our hero, and he's very dark and mysterious, and they're staying in a lighthouse, supposedly. I'm very intrigued. I've never read anything by H.D. Carlton, but I'm excited to read this. And this cover is just so pretty. I love it. I just love those covers. Emily does such a great job on those covers. They're just so pretty. Then I have another Odette Stone, which is Home Game. And I'm not sure what this one is about. It says, I'm down to my last dollar, live day to day in a world that doesn't care despite my bad luck. I'm a fighter. Turns So I think she maybe starts fake dating him. I'm not quite sure. It says that she's very poor, and then she starts a friendship with him, and that like helps her out. I'm not really sure, but I'm really excited to read this series, so I just knew I had to grab this one. Alright, the next book I have is Garnet Flats by Daphne Perry. This is the next installment in the Eden series. I'm really excited to read this. I think it is about... Oh, it's about Talia. I really like her. And I think that he married somebody else, even though they were like a very good relationship. And he married her best friend. Oh my gosh. And then he gets a divorce and he moves back to town, but I think he really has to grovel for her, which I'm really excited about. I love a good grovel romance, and I really like Daphne Perry, so I'm really excited for this. Okay, so this next book is Inevitable Conclusions by Christina C. Jones. I love this book. I read it maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago. I can't really remember. But this is a second chance romance slash like best friends romance, friends lovers. And and our heroine is like finally single, and her best friend, they were once in a relationship but it didn't really work out, and then they want to like try again, and it's just so good. It's so good, very angsty. I love this cover, it's so pretty, and I just really like this book and this author. I really need to read more from Christina C. Jones. I think I want to read her newest book. I can't remember what it's called, but I really like her writing, so I need to read more of her. Okay, so this next book is a special edition of All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. This is a small town single dad romance, and I absolutely love this book. I love this cover. It is so pretty. Let's just take a moment of appreciation for this cover. I just knew I had to get it. And then Mariana's name is signed right here. So excited. This book is so good. I am just dying over that I have this copy. I didn't get the box or anything. I was just able to go on the website and order it, like in their books that you could like order, I guess. So I'm so happy to have that. The next book that I have is Wicked Beauty by Katie Robert. This is the next book in her, I don't know what it's called, like Olympic series, Dark Olympus series. This is the third book, and it's about Achilles, his partner Patroclus. They're expecting famous beauty Helen to be part of the prize, blah blah blah. But she has her own plans. So I think maybe it's a poly romance between Achilles, Patroclus, and Helen. So I'm excited. I haven't read the first book yet, Neon Gods. So I really need to read that. But I am getting all of this because I'm on her Patreon. Kay Roberts Patreon. I love being on her Patreon. So I love all of her books that she's been releasing lately, so I really need to get on that series. Okay, so the next book I got was Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. I gave into the hype on this book. I don't know what I feel about Anna Huang. I really want to love her. I just haven't loved Twisted Love, Twisted Lies, and I like DNF Twisted Hate because I was like not in the mood at the moment. So I might just get the series and retry and see what I feel. But this one is about Christian and Stella, and I'm not quite sure what it's about. I think he's kind of obsessed with her, and a threat from her past drives into the arms and house of the most dangerous man she's ever met. She's determined to let herself feel something for the first time in a long time, because despite Christian's cold nature, he makes her feel everything when she's with him. So maybe she's in danger and she has to stay with him, because I know he has like an apartment complex that she like, or condo, or he's very wealthy, that she was like staying in or something. But I'm excited to read this and give it a try. I love this cover. I think it's so pretty. But I really want to love Anna Huang, and her new series that she's going to come out with sounds so good. It's like a billionaire romance with some stuff with like a club. I'm not really sure. I can't really remember what it's about, but I'm excited to read it. The next two books I have are Brutal Prince and Stolen Heir, the new editions of them. I just had to get these. They're just so incredibly gorgeous. I absolutely love these. And these are mafia romances. These are the first two in the series. And I'm just so excited to have these and finish the series off. And I can't wait for the new art in these books, because I've heard they're really pretty. Like here, oh.
I'm sorry.
Like they have these beautiful art pieces in the books. So I'm really excited for those, to have those on my shelves. And then I got this book called The Sympathizer by Tang Nagyuyan. I'm not quite sure how to say his name, but one of my friends recommended this to me, and it's about, this is very different from anything that I usually read, but I really wanted to branch out and try something different. It's about this guy who's kind of an agent on both sides during the Vietnam War, and yeah, that's all I really know. And he is working for like America and Vietnam at the same time, but I started it but I was like 15 pages in, and I was like reading Throne of Glass series, and I couldn't like focus on this that much right then, so hopefully I can get to it sometime soon. But that is the end of this book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so glad to be back doing videos. I'm slowly getting better from my cold. It was honestly terrible, but I am just so excited to be back and making videos. I'm really excited for the content I'm going to be doing. I did go back blonde, and I'm very excited. I love my blonde hair. I missed it. But yeah, that is the end of this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.